Hey guys, it's Brendan Borman back for another 270 video. Today I'll be playing as Michelle Obama, taking on Ben Carson in the first of several 270 games that I'm going to bring to you during this stream. Do not forget to like and subscribe to help me reach 5K before Election Day. On turn number one, instead of starting off in classic Old South like I normally do, I'm starting off in Georgia instead of Maryland to possibly clash. As you can see, that's what happened. Carson decided to go for swing states on turn number one. We also opened up in youth movement, and Ben Carson went into big conservative. That is a bit concerning because if the status quo were not to change, he would have a cash advantage. And so my counter to that is to also open up in women's movement. Instead of going up in Old South, I am going to expand in the Old South to give me options in Maryland. And Carson counters by also going up in Louisiana and Virginia, states I already have access to. So that pressure is going to hurt us a little bit. However, finishing women's movement and opening up labor and environment is our next turn, because why not just take the for sure cash bonus versus a contested bonus where I might spend money and not even get a bonus. Carson is going to do something interesting on this turn. He is opening up into Illinois, which is an AA state. However, Nevada is a swing state, so he's kind of hedging his bets just a little bit. That's probably going to be his downside if we can get an early edge in this game. Now, I am thinking about my turn number 5. Turn number 4 is easy. We're finishing our labor environment. Turn number 5, we can either go into Florida or New York and have a pillar state for our AA push, or we can go up in Old South and then use her Old South small penalty in order to snowball it into African American. I think that opening up Arizona and Florida is critical, and I also think that going for Old South in the classic way will probably work. I'll open up into Iowa and Michigan as a safeguard for swing states. I thought about going up into Georgia as well, just in case he overtakes in, let's say, a Virginia. But the odds of him going up in Virginia and not like North Carolina, which costs more than Virginia, is probably pretty low. So just kidding. That's exactly what he did. He just stole Virginia. So he did get evangelicals, and that actually caught me off guard. So now I can go up in Georgia, although it's likely that he could go for a North Carolina steal. Maybe I can go up in the other Old South states and Tennessee, D.C., Delaware. Just give us some exposure to AA and really see if we can out-pivot Mr. Ben Carson. He did spend $392 to our $390, and there is a lock of North Carolina. So Mr. Carson likes to steal, and he likes to steal all out. We'll have to put that in the back of our memory bank for the remainder of this game. We have $405,000 of free cash, which means we can double pip into New York if we go for AA, but we don't have enough of a base. So let's go up into the Old South states that are uncontested, and then I know this is a little bit hypocritical, but we're only going to one-pip Maryland and Louisiana. If I were him, I would either go for an all-out steal like he has been or one-pip me. So hopefully we can defend those two states and we'll secure. So Louisiana's gone, so it's likely he spends in Maryland, which he does, but it was only to the one pip. So that one pip is going to allow us to get the Old South bonus, even for just one turn. Turn number 8, we have that $40,000 of Old South, plus we have $500,000 of cash. We can put $300,000 into New York, and then we need enough here to get AA. So let's go up in Arizona, D.C., Delaware. We're going to leave Michigan alone. I could have gone Tennessee because Tennessee was uncontested. That might have been a little bit safer. But sometimes I forget about Tennessee, not going to lie. We are losing electorally, but the big African-American $150,000 bonus does go to Michelle. So we're looking pretty good. I'm just playing around with some numbers here. I likely will lock one of Georgia or Maryland here, but I don't know which one. Florida is pretty much a guaranteed steal. I don't see a scenario where he defends 2 pips in Florida and tries to flip African-American. Carson really has a decision here. Does Carson pivot away from African-American and go into Texas or Florida, or does he try for an AA steal? The longer he waits, the more of a swing it's going to be if he does not wait. Unfortunately, he did go up in Maryland all the way to the 10th pip. We could have seen that coming. We did not block it. And conversely, Carson has flipped the Old South bonus. We lost a $40,000 bonus. Carson gained a $60,000 bonus, a $100,000 swing in the Old South. More importantly for Carson, Carson will have constant pressure in the Old South. And so now I will have to devote my African-American money in those Old South states or risk losing the AA bonus. My counter to this is I'm going to open up into California, which will give me access to double pip next turn to unlock the high-tech bonus and the town and gown bonus. So instead of being stuck in defending AA and overspending and then having money left over that I can't put anywhere, I am just going to move on to the next bonus group. That is one tip that I can give new players is do not be afraid to give up on a bonus and just move on. Now, the good thing is I'm not giving up on anything. I have a labor and environment, women's movement, and youth vote national group support system that can give me extra cash. And I'm just going to defend as much as I can with just the bonus. So going up in Mississippi and going up in Alabama was successful. However, I did lose South Carolina. The important thing that I did was I went up 1 pip in Texas. And the reason I did that, instead of going up in California, was now I control what happens in all of the big 4 states. Sure, if I had gone up in California, I probably would win this game too. However, I just did not see a scenario where Carson was going to go up into Texas, let alone double pip Texas. And now he's at my mercy. Now I can low spend. I can go up in California. I can go up in Texas. And so let's lock Alabama with our AA money. Arizona was an unfortunate casualty for us going for offense rather than defense, as was Mississippi. But we're able to get into Pennsylvania, and we're able to go up to the 2nd pip in Texas. I thought maybe he might go up and go for a clash, which would have been fine as far as like clash equity. Now we can double pip into Cali, and we can single pip into Texas, and then Florida looks safe. He's not yet into New York. So, guys, this is going to be an awesome move here. We're going to unlock so many bonuses. Arkansas, I did not have to go up in, but I knew he had Old South money. Maybe I could lock it and he would just spend the bonus money. That's okay. Look at this, guys. Latino, oil and gas, high-tech, agriculture, manufacturing, export, and town and gown. 7 state groups on that 1 turn. That's pretty crazy. So we're pretty much going to win this game. Let's just see how we can maximize EVs. As a player, it's important to learn how to use your bonuses to really step on your opponent's throats. You know, you don't want to give up EVs. My personal goal for this match is going to be 400 EVs. And there are 538 possible. So let's just enter into all of these states. You know, in this individual game, it's actually going to be better for me to delay a ballot. A ballot is triggered when there are enough states that are locked in. It's not by the number of states, it's by the number of total electorals. So, for example, we have Virginia, which is locked in, and that is 13 EVs. So when that gets to 100, we will have a ballot as long as every state is entered into. Right now, we are missing Maine, we are missing Massachusetts, and we are missing New Jersey and West Virginia. So actually quite a few. That won't be that way for long. I'm going to enter into The open states as well as double pip states that Carson has a soft lead. I don't have to do that, but, you know, it would give me possibly an advantage going in before the ballot. I am defending California and Texas, not defending New York. I would have African American and high tech and Town and Gown to possibly recapture New York if that's where he goes. But he flips Illinois. So that's okay. I could have defended that one too. I just didn't that time. We do have a clash in Maine that will prevent a ballot. Another clash in Michigan, which will stay blue. New Hampshire flips red. And New Jersey's clean entered. Texas is left alone. And the rest of the states, we have another clash in West Virginia. So Maine and West Virginia are preventing us from a ballot. At this point in the game, another thing I like to do is lock some of the cheaper states, because if I were Carson and trying to steal a state, you know, and I had no chance of winning, I would go for a lock. He's also shown with Virginia and North Carolina that that's something he likes to do, is lock a state. And he's less likely to just lock, let's say, Ohio, for example, because that would be all of his money. He did make an attempt in Idaho, which was unsuccessful. We are able to lock Michigan this time. Nevada is locked. Ohio, there's a clash. Pennsylvania, no contest. And West Virginia is entered in. So now we are just missing Maine, as we are up to 422 electorals. Let's lock some of the cheaper states again. I'm going to lock Connecticut. And this will probably be the last turn I delay a ballot, not because I can't make it go longer. I would love to make it go longer. I just, you know, for the sake of the stream, I don't want to make it a boring stream where people click off. So hang with me. I promise there'll be a few more games of 270 that you can watch, you can learn, you can have fun. And turn number 17 is going to not feature Maine. So we will have another turn. Ohio flips red. He does enter a couple more states as we lock Wyoming to finish off turn 17. So let's lock Utah, New Mexico, Colorado. And we're going to go up in Maine to a random pip, guaranteed to force a ballot. So I'm doing that for you guys. I can't take Ohio. Let's see if there's anything else I can use this money for. Got $300,000 of AA, nowhere to put it. Guess I'll defend New York. He does spend $392 to our $1.03 million. And we will have a ballot next turn. He does lock Ohio, enters into Tennessee, Oregon, Oklahoma, steals Vermont, brings us down to 406. And even though we are having a huge cash advantage, just by him being in so many states now, it's hard for us to defend everything. Let's go ahead and lock Oklahoma, lock Tennessee, lock Indiana, lock Wisconsin, lock Pennsylvania, Massachusetts, Maine, Connecticut, lock Hawaii. I don't have enough money to lock West Virginia or Missouri, but I will lock the rest. And in turn, for turn number 19, another low spin, 382, excuse me, for Carson, as he has all that Old South money. And what happened in Indiana? We must not have gotten to the 10th pip. He steals it from us, and we are below our goal of 400 EVs. Can't win them all. So it looks like the final score is going to be 399 to just kidding. Ben Carson flips West Virginia. So we're at 395, which is okay. We're over 270. We have won the White House, but got a little bit sloppy at the end. Good game to Luke Wise. Let's move on to Thomas Jefferson. In this game, I'll be playing a 4-player multiplayer against Barack Obama, Ted Cruz, and Ron DeSantis. I recognize Obama the Diego. He is a player who plays in a lot of multiplayer matches. He's also a big saver. He likes to spend way less than his $250,000 he gets per turn and then go for big state. So I will make sure I remember that. Thomas Jefferson is one of the best candidates in the game currently, with the new meta and Town and Gown being in California. I can open up into labor and environment or big conservative. I can go high tech and Town and Gown. I can go Old South. I can go swing states. I really like the versatility that Thomas Jefferson has. It looks like Barack Obama is starting off in New York, Ted Cruz in Texas, and DeSantis is starting off in classic Old South, uncontested, so he will get that bonus. Ted Cruz, interestingly enough, opened up in Montana, North Dakota, and South Dakota. It's unsure at this point if he is a new player and just spending randomly, or if he accidentally meant to click on Wyoming instead of Montana and going for oil and gas. That's a possibility. So I'll keep my eye on Cruz for future moves to see if I can evaluate whether or not his skill level is up to par. But I can tell you that I do know Obama is a good player, and DeSantis is going to be really tough because he has that swing state. He's got potential, the 35% bonus. He's got Old South, which is uncontested at the moment, and he can piggyback that into African American. And I tell you, in a 4-player multiplayer, if you go Old South, yes, you might lose access to all 4 of the big states, but you're pretty much guaranteeing yourself that you're not going to be eliminated first. Just because of the floor of EVs that you're really giving yourself, because other players are going to focus on the big states. So the opportunity cost is going to allow you to skate by some early decision-making, some conflict, but it does result in some really frustrating and big decisions when it comes to the middle part of the game. Now, I did not want to do this, but it looks like I'm going to have to go toe-to-toe with Barack Obama because I cannot let Obama have California and New York. I do have the labor and environment bonus. I also have the big conservative bonus, and both of those national groups will help me give a pure cash advantage. But Obama is really, really strong out of New York. His high-tech and Town and Gown bonus would make it almost impossible to recapture New York or California. And then he's really, really close to getting Latino. And if you give Obama Latino and Town and Gown and high-tech, he's pretty close to already winning the game. So this is the potential I could go up if I max out New York. I don't think I'm going to do that. I need more information. But I'm really also worried about DeSantis. So should I pressure in some key states like Virginia or Arizona? Should I go up in California just to really target and isolate Obama? I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to target Obama, and I don't think another key component of that is I don't think anyone else was going to enter into California that turn. That's such an underrated part of thinking when you're making your moves. What makes sense for other players? If there's a chance, even a small chance that a player is going to enter in a big state the same turn as you, why risk the clash if you have other moves that also make sense? So now Obama has to take my money seriously. I can go up in California 4 pips. Can take it. Guaranteed. I can take New York. Guaranteed. Could Obama spend $300,000 in New York and go for the high-tech and Town and Gown bonus? Yes, he can. But I guess he's probably going to wait to see what we do, make the first move. That would be my guess if I were him. Played enough games with him to know that. I think my move is going to be to really forget Obama at this point. I am going to focus on DeSantis. And the reason why is I need both players to overspend. And I guessed correctly that Obama was going to defend California. So that will delay him in getting his bonuses. Now I have pressure in states I'm already going to need to be in. I need to be in Florida. I need to be in Virginia, North Carolina, Arizona. And now I can make a move. Now this is probably the turn where not necessarily it's going to win me the game, but if this does not work, I could lose the game here on turn number 7. I am emptying the chamber, so to speak. I am letting everything I have go in reserve, and I am going to go after classic Old South, enter into South Carolina, and go up in Illinois. My reasoning is I can take away Old South. I can also potentially take away African American, and DeSantis does defend Michigan, not to us, but there's a huge clash, a lot of clash equity there. Obama does finally go up in New York, so he's going for his bonus, and an 8th pip steal in Virginia works to perfection. So, like that, Old South and manufacturing base is gone for DeSantis. So, that was really the turning point for DeSantis can look back and go, oops. Obama now probably is favored to win. I know, I have definitely a chance here, but I'm going to spend my Old South money. I'm going to lock Louisiana. I do not want to spend money in Virginia, Maryland, or North Carolina this turn. Let's see what happens. So now we can lock North Carolina, and we're going to enter into some states here. Let's see how much money we have left after we enter into open states, if it's enough to lock. Okay, so we still have 28,000. So let's lock Maryland, Virginia, just in case DeSantis gets any ideas. And there's not much else I can do. Let's enter into just a few more states in case there's a ballot, because by going into all these open states, we are really expediting the game. Maybe we can catch Obama, because Obama just has those 2 states. If we're able to eliminate Obama, we'll inherit right now California and New York. So DeSantis did go for North Carolina. He tried to get that manufacturing bonus back. Too obvious of a steal, though. In hindsight, maybe the turn I didn't defend North Carolina and I locked Louisiana, maybe I could have gone up 2 pips in North Carolina just to make it even more advantageous for us for a clash. But I don't know if that honestly would have changed anything. Looks like that Wisconsin has flipped hands, and now Utah and New Jersey stands between us and a ballot. And I did not get my turn in, so this might cost us North Carolina. I probably was just going to lock North Carolina and leave the rest, but not good. Okay, so in hindsight, I would have locked North Carolina, absolutely, but those EVs going to DeSantis, those will go back to me if DeSantis is eliminated, and we really want to help get Obama out of this game. So maybe that wasn't the worst move after all to let him have it. African American, we're pretty close. We would need Florida. Let's see if we can spend pretty low, get closer and closer to a ballot. So Arizona's locked. We now have entrance into California. Florida flips to Obama. Okay, so that's a huge, huge move for this game. That's going to give him Latino. Is it going to give him export as well? I believe so. He also enters he enters Texas. Okay, so we lost African American. $1.15 million. Man, what do we do here? Obama can't even go 1 pip up in Cali. I can go 2 pips up in New York. I just think he's going to defend. Let's go for it. Guys, this is not good. In hindsight, I'm already feeling bad about this. I should have gone equal with him or just up to the 3rd pip. Uh-oh. Oh, no. I want to throw up. I just wasted $1 million. Now, Obama was eliminated. Oh, thank goodness. Oh, I couldn't even go through that reel. I had my head down. That was squeaky. But it is turn 13. And now we have to look and see how are we going to navigate. Texas is gone. If I'd have just not spent that exact pip in New York, we'd have pretty much guaranteed New York the rest of the game. This timer is at 0 for a very long time. California is going to go to Cruz. So there's a ballot. Now I could triple pip Cali and knock out Ted Cruz, but I don't really want to go for Cruz. I kind of want to go for DeSantis. What did DeSantis do last turn? Maybe I can go for Cruz in other states. Maybe he will 1 pip. No, he'll 2 pip Cali, which won't leave him much money. So let's go 1 pip past him in other states. I'm just going to leave Cali alone. Okay. Submitted our ballot move. Man, I should have won this game if I did not waste $1 million in New York. If I had $1 million, if I had $1 million, I would steal Idaho and Kansas and Kentucky, yo. Minnesota turns red. Nebraska flips to us. So all of our steals are working. Utah goes back to him, but it does not matter. Oh, interesting. So we would have knocked out Ted Cruz. However, DeSantis forfeited. So all of those moves, man, this is like a triple whammy. So we would have knocked out Cruz, and we would have been fighting DeSantis. But instead, now we have pretty much lost Cali. I can go up in Florida. He takes back Idaho. Takes back Minnesota. And Ohio has clean entry, so it looks like we will make our way closer to a ballot. He doesn't have a ton of options. He could possibly go up in New York, but we can pretty much guarantee African American again. We can get high tech. We can get swing states with Pennsylvania, with North Carolina, Virginia, Michigan. I don't want him to get town and gown. Maybe I can go the 4th pip in New Hampshire, and then Arizona should be ours unless he pressures it. Really, it's about the EV. So at this point, we're closer to a ballot, so I don't want to make any foolish steal attempts like I did in New York earlier. Illinois flips. That's a big EV count going orange. We do clash in Michigan. We do steal New Hampshire. In Pennsylvania, that extra pip is going to pay off for us. So we're up to 330. There's high-tech African-American swing states. Let's go up in Massachusetts. Pennsylvania is kind of a squirrely one. We either leave it alone or defend it. I don't think I can max it. Illinois, let's go to the 4th pip. Probably 5th would guarantee it, but I think 4th, there's a decent shot we get it. And then I need some ballot access into some of the oil and gas states, as well as Montana here. No entry into Arkansas. There's that clash. So, yep, I had a gut feeling that's where the pip he was going to be on for Illinois. Oh, Brendan. Pennsylvania was good, though. We did prevent a steal. So we're down to 319 EVs. We still do not have a ballot. So let's go lock Pennsylvania. I was just manipulating my funds so I wouldn't have to spend my high-tech money. I could spend my swing state money. West Virginia's too far gone, so I won't get in there. And then let's 1 pip Illinois in case he leaves it. I doubt it. But he has other things he has to do, like into Arizona. He does go for Pennsylvania. We do block it. Again, he did block Illinois, but again, we spent just a little bit. Again, we're going to see if we can spend money in Pennsylvania without high tech. Georgia, Tennessee, Ohio, Michigan, Illinois. It's like Indiana, Illinois. Let's lock it, yeah. I could save my money this turn and go for a big Cali steal, but let's just get what we can. This game is not over yet. I feel pretty good about it. Arizona flips. Cali defense. So his offense was playing defense in California, hoping that I would go for a steal. He does overtake me in Maine as we close off Michigan. Missouri flips orange. Defense in Oklahoma. Pennsylvania's finally locked. And that will take us to the end of turn 19 as labor and environment goes to Cruz. We do get manufacturing and export just for 1 turn, as turn number 20 is a ballot. So I can just pretty much spend where he has access, including Oregon, Indiana. Not making that mistake again. I am fully locking Indiana. And then I'm going to go up a couple pips in Colorado, New Mexico, Montana, just to see if we can get additional EVs. And that will put a wrap on this game. So let me know. Benjamin Franklin, great candidate, although I did not see that Florida steal coming. That's actually going to alter the bonuses post-game more than I would have anticipated. But all of our other steals are probably going to work, so that big 40 EV move is not going to matter. It's actually a net 0. Pretty crazy. So 320 to 218. Good job, G General. And that brings us to the next game. FDR versus Abraham Lincoln. 2 well-distinguished men in American history. We have Mr. Square Deal versus Mr. A House Divided Against Itself Will Not Stand. We're going to go in labor and environment. One of these days, people in the comment section are going to be like, hey, 270 videos, is there any time where you don't go national groups? And I'll be like, yeah, sometimes. But it is a safety net I like to have. So we are going to contest in Arizona. My thought process behind this is I can still go gun lobby, which I have a Napoleon Bonaparte vice president. Gives me a boost in gun lobby. And he did go in New York on turn number 1. So I want to have access to swing states, although, look at here, folks, we have another African-American push. With Florida in New York, he's only missing like a Michigan-Tennessee combination to get that African-American, that same $150,000 bonus that Michelle Obama had earlier and that Barack Obama has. So he went up in Virginia, he went up in Tennessee and Georgia. So I'm going to tail him in those states, make it a little bit difficult. And I'm also going to finish off my gun lobby. Excuse me, youth vote. We did gun lobby already. 98 to 11 electorally, but it's pretty early. So now we have to keep our eyes open for him spreading out. He has already defended Florida pretty well. Maybe I can go up into Pennsylvania and New Hampshire, and what that would do is say, hey, if I go all out for Florida, I can use this combination to get swing states. And while I didn't think that was maybe the best strategy, I did that because it forces my opponent to overspend in Florida, and now I can stretch out across all of the African-American states. I am anticipating a clash. So let's see if we can go for a steal in one of his states. Florida is up to the 8th pip. Clean entry thus far. Tennessee up to the 3rd pip, and we do have a clash in Virginia. Now what we can do is we can get the guaranteed Old South bonus, and now we're going to pressure into New York. You had to know that was coming. As much as he's been defending in Florida, maybe he'll defend in New York. He is pressuring me in North Carolina, and he is able to flip Tennessee, and Virginia is close. So there is African-American for one turn. Maybe I could have snuffed that out by blocking Virginia again. We're going to lock Virginia, actually. We're going to go up in Georgia. Sweet Georgia. Arizona is not entered into. North Carolina was defended well. And Virginia's locked. So he went up in New York. He now has a pretty safe lead in New York and in Florida. And we have more access. It's his job to pick the right states. We are going to save $400,000 as North Carolina is stolen again to the 8th pip. However, we guessed correctly in Tennessee, and we are able to prevent the African-American bonus for another turn. That was huge. He'll likely lock North Carolina. Let's see if we can go up in the other states, if we can get African-American ourselves. Tennessee, we need to lock it, yes. Thought about trying to be cute and not locking it, but that's not going to happen. Although it would have worked because he was just doing defense this turn, going up into North Carolina. He did not lock North Carolina. He only went to the 9th pip. So expect him to lock it this turn. This is a case of Abraham Lincoln not pivoting fast enough. So again, going to the Arizona to the 3rd pip, that doesn't make a whole lot of sense. He does lock North Carolina, and he is able to get Pennsylvania to the 2nd pip. I can defend Illinois. And now I have, obviously, enough money where I could double pip Texas and California, but just letting Mr. Abraham Lincoln overspend in New York. Now I'm going to lock Illinois, and now I'm going to enter into all these states. Let's see if I can get them all entered into. I don't think so. Nope. So we're going to leave the far northeast in West Virginia open. Let's go ahead and skip. And now we can go Connecticut, Rhode Island, Massachusetts, Vermont, Maine, and don't forget West Virginia. We just have the African-American bonus and the Old South bonus, but Abraham Lincoln doesn't have anything. So Pennsylvania to the 4th. Right as time expires, Abraham Lincoln is entering some states. There's a ballot. And going up to the 3rd pip in a lot of states. Maryland, we're going to lock. All the states we only have 1. We have to go 2. And we're going to spend all but $169,000. Most of that was African-American bonus. We have nowhere to put it. Clash in Colorado. Maryland is locked. Missouri flips. Man, we cannot win our home state tonight. What is up with that? Must be bad mojo. But Missouri is the show me state. Show me you love me. Hit me with that like button. Hit me with that subscribe button. We're on the way to 5K before Election Day. And again, if you have video comments, leave them in the Discord. Hit me up in the YouTube comment section. Let me know what you want to see, and I can try to provide as much as possible. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next 270 video.